Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Otumba Adam Show. My name is Adam Toluwafemi Olajide, and it's a pleasure being here. This is episode 195, and I am grateful that slowly but surely we are coming to the end of this year's season. And soon enough, I would actually be making an announcement, but not now. It's not going to be now. All right. So, how have you guys been? How is life? How is work? How is the entrepreneurial journey? How is the digital skill you're trying to learn? How is um, business generally? And for those of you that are enjoying the World Cup, I hope you guys are rooting for the best teams to win. I haven't really had the pleasure of watching most of the matches, but hey, it is the season and it's a great one. Also, today is the last day in the month of November. It's a reason to be grateful, also, right? We started this year on a good note and we are rounding off also on a great note. All right. So if you're here and like this is the first time of being a part of the show and you're wondering what's this whole show about, we talk about business, we talk about entrepreneurship, freelancing, we talk about leadership, we talk about things that could literally help you in your life, either in your personal life or in your business world. All right. So, moving on to what I have today, I said that should entrepreneurs pay for the service of a business coach? I have seen people over time say that, like, why do I have to pay for a service that I could as well just get for free on the internet? Why do I have to pay you when you could as well just teach me for free? And this notion has gone on and on and on over time, especially here in Nigeria, where people feel that like everything that should be given to them should be for free. That is why I decided to create this topic, and then like we'll be looking at it today. But before I actually jump into that thing, something just popped up into my head. A while back, some days back, actually, somebody came to meet me that like actually looked like a Nigerian presenter. His name is Rufai on Arise News. And if you guys actually think that like we do look alike, please let me know. Right? I went to a place some days back, and then the person saw me at the supermarket, and he was like, "Are you this person?" And I was like, "No. Why did you ask?" He was like, "You walk and talk like him." And then today also somebody reached out to me that like, "Am I also this same person?" And I'm like, "No, I am not." All right, so that out of the way, let's dive into why I came here today. I have about 6 points I highlighted, right, for, yeah, seven actually, to explain to you why you actually need the service of a business coach. I'll be taking them one after the other. And if you're there watching me live, you would like to say hello, please just put your name and your location in the comment section, and I would welcome you specially. All right, number one on the list is you focus on what is important. Now, one of the things that happens to a lot of entrepreneurs, especially those who are just moving into the entrepreneurial space, is that you have tons of ideas, right? Your creative juice would be dripping literally, and that in itself is a good thing. But on the downside, when you have too many things that like you are actually focused on, you tend not to be able to grow on the long run. And that is where you need the service of a coach, someone who is seasoned, somebody who can tell you that, like, hey, focus on this part time, right? You do not want to be everywhere at the same time. I could remember the time that like I wanted to go into the entrepreneurial space and I wanted to be everything and everywhere at the same time. One of the things that like I learned recently before this year was that like focus on one thing at a time and give your best to it and let it grow. I was in a business meeting and that was where I learned that particular thing. And this year, that nugget has actually helped me all through the year. So the same thing I'm going to tell you is that like when you get a coach, right, you get somebody that like you pay to teach you, right, they would actually help you to stay focused on what is important rather than you just gallivanting about trying out a lot of things without having that core focus. That's number one on the list. Number two on the list is that like they point out your blind spot. Now, more often than not, we always assume that like we can see it all, right? We know what we need to do, we know this stuff, but there would also be times that like you then realize that like things are not really working out for you because your blind spot is that part of you, that weakness that you have that is actually affecting you. And that is where a coach comes in. They'll be able to see your blind spots, the areas where you need to work on, right? You might assume that like you've got it all covered up, or you've got it all covered rather, but they would be able to see that area of your life that you are very, very weak at and is crucial for your growth. It's crucial for your business growth, right? When they see it, they point it out to you. They're like, hey, dude, you need to do this way. You're not getting it right. This part of you is actually your weakest point, and you need to work on it. And when you do that, when you follow their instructions and then you keep working on that part of you that is not so great, you would see that like over time you become better, because not just your strength that will be working for you alone, but that part of you that is not strong enough that you've been able to work on. And now you have more things to your advantage, and you are able to shine and you're able to get better. All right. So that's number 2 on the list. Number 3 is you have a competitive advantage now, or a competitive edge. Literally, when you're walking alone, right, you can only see based on your knowledge, right? What you have at the top of your head, the experiences that you've been able to have during the short period of time that like you've entered into that entrepreneurial space. Now, working with a coach, these people are seasoned, right? They've gone ahead of you, they've seen it all, they've worked with other people, they've had experiences with other businesses, they've made mistakes, they've learned their lessons. And when you now pay them, right, to be able to like work with them, you then realize that like all the mistakes that you could have made, right, they would help you not to make them. And that itself would give you the competitive edge over other businesses that do not have a coach in their lives, right? Imagine if you had to like go into the World Cup without a coach. A football team goes into the World Cup without a coach. You literally, or the team literally will be running around like a headless chicken, as compared to like a team that like has a coach who knows the tactics of majority of the players that like they would actually be playing against, and then can then devise how you can maneuver right through those players and then win at the end of the day. That's the beauty about having a coach. They give you direction and help you to have a competitive edge over other people that you're working against. Number 4 on the list, number 3 rather, number 4 on the list is your personal growth improves. Now, not only do you get better in your workspace, but personally also, when you have a coach, you tend, not you tend, you will grow better than the way you were before you actually had a coach in your life. Because by the time you keep listening to that coach, your confidence begins to grow, and it transcends to every other part of your life, right? Not just your business life, right? It could be your relationship with your workers, your family members, people in the society, right? The way you see yourself, the way you see people begins to change, and people would actually see you from that angle. They're like, wow, this person has actually transformed. This person wasn't used to being like this before, but now this person has grown as a person just because you had a coach, right? Taking it back to the football world now, majority of the football players are actually unrefined. They are brutes. Um they have this ego in them, right? That they feel that like they're actually the best thing that ever happened after what am I going to say, pounded yam and egusi soup, maybe. But with the help of a coach, they don't just get better at what's the word now, at becoming a better football player, but they also get better at becoming a team member of a football team, right? They are not just about themselves; they're about the team, and that mindset also goes to their home, right? The way they treat their partners, the way they treat their children, the way they treat people around them. They grow as a person because they had a coach to be able to guide them to improving in their personal lives. All right. Number 5 is you save time and money. Now, most times we say that like, "Ah, but I am dropping money for this person. Isn't the money that I'm paying to this coach so much?" My dear, one thing you need to realize is this: that like on the long run, you would save yourself tons and buttloads of money, right? And you will save yourself time, because the journey you could have taken, or the journey that could have taken, like, say, 10 years, a coach would help you to compact it to 6 months. It is very, very possible, because imagine if you had to do things on your own, or probably like you're trying to like go on a journey, and then you do not have a roadmap to help you get to where you're going to. Let's say I am here in Ondo State, right? Akure, Ondo State, and then I'm trying to get to Lagos, but instead of me going down to Lagos, because I do not know the way to Lagos, I decide to go towards Abuja. Now, by the time I get to Abuja, somebody could probably say, they're like, well, I am not so sure. Maybe you should keep going up north. And going up north means that, like, I'm going towards Kaduna, I'm going towards Sokoto, I'm going towards the far regions of the country. Now, by the time I then realize that, like, wow, I'm going down the wrong path, and then I need to start coming back, right? On my way down, I might probably like take a detour right from Abuja, going down to south. And then by the time I then get to south, I would realize that, like, wow, I missed my way. I need to get back up. And before you know it, I have actually spent so much time, so much resources going down the wrong path. But with the help of a coach, I could have actually have had that guideline rather, as to where to go, right? Saving myself the money that I would have wasted, saving myself the time that I would have also wasted, right? Coaches help you to compact that time and help you to save resources that you would have spent on something that you shouldn't have on the long run. So these are the reasons why you actually need a coach. Number 6 on my list is accountability. It is very, very important that, like, you have a coach, because they would help you to be accountable. Now, one thing that I realized when it comes to like a one-man show, a one-man business, is that, like, we are never accountable more often than not, right? Because you feel that, like, you're the alpha and the omega of the business. You can spend as you like. You can decide how things should go. But on the long run, you are not accountable to anybody. And when you're not accountable to anybody, your business is going to die eventually. It might not die at the very beginning, but because you cannot listen to anybody, your words are yea and amen, and that is it. On the long run, your business is going to die. But with the help of a coach, that coach can tell you to your face that, like, hey, young man, young woman, you're not doing the right thing. This is how you're meant to do it. This is how you're meant to go. This is the path you're meant to go. And it would help you to stay accountable. And once you're accountable, growth is imminent. There's no way about, or there are no two ways about it. Once you're accountable to someone and the person gives you feedback as to what you have told them, then it is certain that, like, you're going to grow, and your business also is going to grow on the long run. Moving on to my very last point, we have, you are pushed to do more, right? The beauty about having a coach is that, like, instead of you limiting yourself, thinking that, like, well, I have achieved it all, I have gotten to my peak, a coach will tell you that, like, why don't you try this new thing? Why don't you push yourself to do more? Why don't you open an extra, a new branch for the business? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you move from being a local champion and then, like, open a business in another country, right? With the help of a coach, you can actually do much more than you feel that you can do, because they will stretch you, right? If you do not have a coach, you probably will feel that, like, well, I have gotten to my limits. I am not interested in doing anything again. I have tried. I cannot come and kill myself, as we say in Nigeria. But with the help of a coach, right, you are stretched and you can actually do more. You can actually achieve more. And you can be the best version of yourself that you have always dreamt to be, just because you have a coach. And this brings us to the last point. But then I will take all the points all over again from the beginning to the very last before I round this episode off. All right. Number 1, I said that, like, with the help of a coach, you focus on what is important. Number 2 is they help you to notice your blind spot. Number 3 is you have a competitive advantage or competitive edge over your competitors. Number 4 is your personal growth improves. Number 5 is you save time and money. Number 6 is accountability. Number 7 is you're pushed to do more. And this brings us to the end of today's episode. I hope with these points that I've given, you can now see that, like, it is necessary for you as an entrepreneur, for you as an individual, to actually have a mentor, to actually have a coach, someone who would help you to grow and help you to expand in leaps and in bounds. But before we leave today, please make sure to hit the like button and also tell somebody about the show. My name remains Adams Olufemilajide, and I would see you again this Saturday, which is going to be the third day in the month of December and our 196th episode. As I always say, be the best version God has created you to be. From me to you, have a great evening. Signing out. Bye bye.